Hey, Darius, is that vote shirt for? I take that's at that Pro Bowl vote shirt, right?
Nah. But it could be now, As well as, vote for the president and everything. But, now you vote for Pro Bowl. Either way you want to use it.
Uh, George Bremer, go ahead.
Darius, what kind of unique challenges does Darren Waller present as a tight end for the Raiders?
I mean, he's good. They use him a lot. He's running a lot of routes. He's a mismatch sometimes. His size difference between the DB to him. He's good. He's good in space. But we got guys. There's only one football. We got a lot of guys that have eyes on him. So I think as long as we do what we got to do with defense, I think we'll be fine against them.
Joel Erickson.
Darius, you guys have played the Raiders, I think, 3 years in a row now. Or is it starting to feel kind of familiar studying them?
Not really. I'm not gonna say too much familiar, just because they do a lot of shifts and motions. Because you play a team, you get used to their formations, but they do so much, shifts and motions, everything pre-snap. So so now you really just got to tie in your keys and everything. You don't really want to think about what formation they're in. You just got to lock in and just go from there.
Mike Chappell.
Darius, we've asked you about the defense, first half, second half, not going about the first half, what's not working. The last 4 games, no touchdowns in the second half. That's quite a streak. I mean, what are you guys doing at halftime to flip the switch, if that's too simple?
I'm not gonna say flip a switch or anything, but it's a mentality then, you somewhat have the same mentality that first half, but the second half, that's when it's crunch time. And that if they can't score, they can't win, especially, if you're down or if you're winning. You know what I mean? I mean, the mindset is they don't move the ball. We think that we're better. That's the mindset you're supposed to have. And you gotta, when crunch time, every time I walk out there, I call the guys up, and the first thing I say, you gotta want to make a play. You gotta want to be special. You can't be afraid to make a play, or you can't be afraid to get beat. So you gotta go out and just say, my guy ain't catching it, my guy ain't blocking me, and I'm gonna find a way to get the ball out. And that's the mindset, that I try to get them good boys to have, in the second half.
So 2nd and 2, minute and a half to play in Houston. You were convinced you guys were going to make a play.
Of course. I'll tell you what I was thinking. You remember last year in Houston, the play that I forced a fumble on? Remember the last play that he just fumbled on this past week? That was a very similar play, and I kind of called it out. I thought it was going to be zone read. He was going to keep, because at crunch times you don't think plays, you think players. The guys you who want to keep the ball in their hands. And at that time right there, because they just ran the option earlier in the game that scored a wide open touchdown for Deshaun. So in my mind, I was thinking right then it was going to be a lot of hog swing option right there. So I mean, you just kind of think about them things.
It was mentioned, one last question. It was mentioned on the broadcast and elsewhere that let them score, give your offense a chance. I know, but give the offense a chance if they score. You wouldn't have cared for that at all.
All I knew is they had 0 timeouts. We up about 4. If you stop them, they kick a field goal, they don't win the ball game. That's the mindset you're supposed to have as a defense. You never in your life say, okay, I'm gonna let this team score. That's never a mindset defensively. I don't care what anyone says. If you let your guys score, you're not a competitor. Because I don't care. I would never in my mind say, okay, I'm about to let this guy score. No, heck no. Come on, man. No.
Thank you.
Mike Wells.
Hey, Darius, so much of your D-line is talked about DeForest, obviously Justin, and then, the emergence that Grover's had this year. But Danico doesn't get talked about a lot. I mean, he leads, I believe he leads you guys in sacks. What has he been to the D-line? And does he get enough credit?
No, for one, Danico does not. He does not get enough credit. I mean, he's a bruiser. You look at him in the run fit. When I think, the run fit, I'm thinking, my D-line, Danico, I'm thinking Grove and D-Buck. Those guys that there's no one-on-one. He got a tight end on Danico, that's an easy win. And you see him on the outside zone play. He's, the distance to travel, he's hitting people. And then on third down, he's getting sacks. He's doing everything that he got to do to, put his team in the right position to get off the field. And he's definitely not getting enough credit. And, he's been the same guy since he's been here. This is his 3rd year here, and he's been balling out, and he's just not getting enough credit. And it sucks because you see him put so much work in, and you see everything that he's done, off the field, in the classroom or whatever. And and it shows. I mean, before he got out with that COVID issue, he was balling. And then last week he came back and he was balling and he had a half a sack with DeForest Buckner, which they didn't even give him credit for that half a sack. So it sucks, but I just know he's gonna keep balling no matter what.
And I do have a follow-up question about. I know I joked about the vote T-shirt, and I see that on social media you guys are promoting each other for voting for Pro Bowl. Is it going to be weird though? You guys want to get voted for Pro Bowl, but there's not going to be an actual game.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be weird, but it's a pride thing. You competing. If you set any goals for yourself, everything. For me, I always tell you it's Pro Bowl, Super Bowl, MVP, stuff like that. So it's everything that you want to check on your to-do list as the season goes, and it's just a goal that you want to have because it's so tough to get to the Pro Bowl, and you put all the work in. So just to even get acknowledged as a Pro Bowler, it means a lot to you. I mean, because you gotta be a competitor, man. That's just the main thing.
And you want to make sure you don't get snubbed again.
Hey, man, listen, all the stuff I've been seeing on social media. Listen, it is what it is now, man. I'm used to it.
We'll go 3 more here. Stephen Holder.
Hey, Darius, speaking of being a competitor, I mean, having known you these few years, I can imagine what are you like after a loss? I imagine I probably don't want to be anywhere near you, but what are you like after a loss? I guess.
Oh man, it's it's tough after a loss. I'm pissed. I'm pissed at everyone. I go home. I don't want to be around family and nothing. I gotta find a way to get my mind off of it. I don't watch any football at home, so I gotta do something else. And I try to find out what went wrong. I always think about the play call. I always think about missed assignments and stuff like that. I'm trying to figure out what went wrong and how can we fix it. And that's the main thing. After a loss is how can you get better? How can you not feel this pain again? So it's more so like, I text Gons, every Monday morning before I even, go inside. Hey, what did the game film look like? Like, what was it? Misalignments, misassignments, anything like that. So it's just trying to find a way to get better because, man, those losses, they tough. They tough, and that's something that you don't want to feel as a leader or as a competitor.
And I know you played a lot of sports growing up. I think you were in baseball, and I don't know if basketball, I can't remember, but were you always this way in every sport, just in terms of being a competitor? I can't even imagine.
Yes, I mean, yes. I mean, think about this. My mom had 6 boys, and I'm the youngest boy. Everybody's competing. And then I went to a high school. We got 10 state championships in football. We got 9 in baseball. So all I know is winning. It's the mentality that you have. We don't hang up. Region championships. It's either you win a championship or you bust. Your team wasn't good enough, and that always been my mindset, from day one, just playing sports. The coach always said you got to compete. And, I was a little guy, growing up, and, I just had to work harder than everyone because I didn't have the same skill sets as everyone. So I was competing no matter what. And then, just playing basketball and all that stuff against my brother, I'm just competing, trying to, you want to talk trash to your family. You want to talk trash to anybody. So you want to compete to be the best so then you can have the ability to talk trash.
Jim Maiella.
Yeah, Darius, I want to ask you about Jacoby because obviously he got the Walter Payton Man of the Year nomination today for you guys. I just wanted to ask how important is he into your locker room and how big of it? I mean, it seems like he's remained a crucial leader for you guys, even though he isn't the starting quarterback anymore.
Yeah, Jacoby. Jacoby's been a great guy since he's been here. The thing that he do on the field. Last year he was our starting quarterback. Being that leader, being that that vocal leader. On the field and everything, leading by example. And then, he was doing a lot of great things in the community last year. And then everything just kept, building up. He kept building off each event. And that's what makes him so special now that, he's the backup quarterback, but he still doesn't act like the backup quarterback. When we going against the, scout team, me and him talking the most trash. If I know that I'm talking trash and he's talking trash, we're both competing. And once he get to talking trash, for one, you don't want Jacoby talking trash because he might be a worse trash talking to Uncle Phil. And he's just that competitive nature, that leadership that you need on the field and then off the field. He's just a great guy, and he's well deserved of this Walter Payton nominee of the year. And I just wish him the best of luck, and hopefully he can continue to give back to the community because a lot of people forget where they come from. People like to forget that you was once that child that didn't have anything. You was once that child that wanted to be something in life, and now that people make it to the NFL or make it out of their cities, some like to forget that. And Jacoby is not a person that doesn't forget where he came from, and I just hopefully he can continue to do that for the rest of his life.
Does it give you guys I mean, I know you guys cheer for everybody on the team, cheering for wins, but is it a little extra juice, a little extra fun when you see Jacoby out there going out there and converting first downs and touchdowns?
Yes, just because of the situation he's in, and just because of the leader that he is on his team, and when he get in the game, everybody's looking, everybody want him to do great, because I mean, like I said, everybody see the social media stuff, Jacoby this, Jacoby that. So when he go in the game, you want him to succeed. So every first down you get, every touchdown that he scores, of course, everybody is pumped up, everybody's ready because you see the work that he put in. You see the role that he's taking. He was a starting quarterback, and now he's the backup quarterback. And his attitude still hasn't changed. And those are guys that you need in the locker room was going to put the team first. And so it's so amazing to see guys like that succeed whenever their opportunity is in front of them.
The last one here, Taylor Tannenbaum.
Kind of random, but I don't know how much you've watched of Jeremy Chin with the Panthers. Have you seen anything at all? The rookie, he's a front runner for Defensive Rookie of the Year. So I wasn't sure. That was going to be my first question. If you've watched him. Aside from Julian Blackmon.
Okay.
But very few times you're the last person who was drafted outside the first round that won the award. So my question for you is just going to be, if you've seen him, what have you seen from him, and what that means to a player who's been doubted to win an award like that?
To be honest, I haven't seen him play, so I don't want to lie to you there. But just to win an award like that from being doubted, that just let you know that don't let anyone put limitations on you. A lot of people told me that I couldn't be anything in life. There's a lot of reporters who say a lot of bad things about me, but every week I continue to go out and get better and prove every doubter wrong. And that's the mindset that you gotta have, because there's nobody really want to see you succeed in life. I mean, yes, you made it out, but everybody else, you think people cheering for you, but they really waiting for your downfall just so they can talk about you. So just to win that award when everybody down you, you're back against the wall, that shows what type of person, what type of player you really are. Because when everyone doubts you and you're doing all the right things to do to make a play, that will just tell us what type of player, what type of mentality that you have in your mind. And that underdog mentality, it's you versus the world, and that's the mindset that you gotta have. But with all that being said, Julian Blackmon was Divas Rookie of the Year because I don't see no one better than him in that point blank period.